Look, I just want to really take this opportunity to explain, I guess, why people in their mid-50s would want to start a YouTube channel. Look, it's probably not the reasons that you think we want to, or why other people use this platform, or what they want out of this platform. We simply want to inspire people, encourage people to live their best life. So what do we mean by that? What do we mean by live your best life? Well, for us, we identified quite early that we love traveling. Of course, we also love dogs, and the dogs have a big influence on our life. We do all sorts of travel. We've gone to different countries. We've seen different people. We've had so many different experiences. But through that time period, we've realised that it gives us so much joy, so much happiness, so much balance, inspiration. We've always worked hard all our life, and we're still working hard. But this is the balance that's given us this opportunities to work hard, to understand what we really want out of life. And out of life is the travel and those experiences, those memorable occasions. Look, we're meant to be going away to Europe in 4 weeks' time. At the moment, because of the conflict between Israel and Iran, there is no guarantee that we'll be going in 4 weeks' time, depending on what happens in the Middle East. But one thing we always realise is that because we've lived our best life, yes, it is disappointing that we may not be going, but we reflect on all those memorable occasions that we've had and enjoyed, which helps us, obviously, help us deal with maybe not going on that trip. But we can reflect on all those experiences we've had. We've been blessed. We're very grateful for that. Look, life, as you know, we can't control. But what we can control is how we live in that life, which is very important. So this is where I can't stress enough, is where you need to identify what makes you happy, what brings you that joy, what brings you that happiness, what inspires you. So when we think about it, we just exist in life. We hardly, I guess, think or take a breath of what's, really important to us. That's why I think a lot of times we need to live our best life, and we need to create those memories. You need to chase moments and not maybes. I think a lot of that will change your perspective on your whole outlook on life, because we need these experiences, and I guess what we'd say is things that make us more positive in life. And a lot of those times it is when we sit back and think what makes us really happy, because then that also portrays in everything in part of our life and the way we conduct ourselves as people and how we do our job. So, example, I was getting one of these, obviously these speakers, wireless ones, and I was at Harvey Norman, and this young lad was there, and I approached him because his whole aura seemed different. He seemed a lot happier. So I just asked him and said, look, mate, I'm not tech, I'm 55. Is this called a speaker good? Is it compatible with what I needed? So he went and got it, read it up. Not a problem, looked it out on the computer. But it was just his whole presence. You could see he was just so happy with life. You could see it in his whole attitude. So I actually got talking to him, and he said to me, I've done 2 countries already in 1 year already, and the year hasn't even finished. And I said, oh, that's great. And then he said, yeah, I want to go for my 3rd. And he goes, I never ever thought that, let alone traveling out of the country, by 21, in that quarter of the year, I've already done 2 trips. And he was planning and going on his 3rd one. So that whole outlook on him, that's such positive, and he was just so excited about life. And this is why I reckon it's very important that we have that balance in life. And this is why we need to create those memories. This is why we need to take a breath, time out from that vicious circle of life, and realise what's important for us to exist in life. Because you don't want to get to a stage in life where you go, oh, what have I done? What have I experienced in life? So people, please, whether we get one person, we change one person out of this video, we just want you to live your best life. Look, we look forward to hearing from you. So please drop us a comment. We are really looking forward to hearing those comments or what inspires you or what you've done to create those memories and make your life a better place. And like I said, you don't have to go on first class flights. You don't have to do amazing resorts. You just need to do things that make you happy, that give you inspiration in life, that gives you balance, that gives you joy. Well, thanks for listening, and don't forget to live your best life.